Welcome back, everyone, to the continuation of the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago South American Qualifier. Justin Kaplan joined by the lovely Banks, who has finally made it in from his 72-hour travel from Berlin here to Cologne.
It did feel like that.
It did. It definitely did. As we're sitting cast that, kind of getting updates, you know, every so often. Like, okay, he's finally on the plane. He's finally going to make it. Okay, no, he's off the plane again. We don't know where you are, but I'm glad to have you here, and also glad to be casting together for the first time.
Oh, yes, it's going to be magical. I'm looking forward to it. And I took the L's yesterday, which means we can only win today. That's the way I'm looking at it.
At least S's. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Well, we know Snods, Rip. Yeah, maybe we need to spend a little bit more time looking at the chat, finding out things go. But
I think so. He's actually at home, or not home. He's at the hotel sick right now. Apparently, he's like bloodshot eyes, and he's like has a super high fever. That's what you get when you don't know what Monka S is. So that's karma coming back at you.
Yeah, see, Monka S just came in for him, haunted him in his dreams, and he woke up this morning in sweats and was like, I can't deal with this no more.
It's 2018. Everyone should know what Monka S is. But anyways, besides all of that, this is day 2 of our qualifiers for Chicago. And we're going to find out, actually, at the end of tomorrow, what team will be representing the region, obviously with MIBR when we get into the main event. But let's take a look at the brackets. If you missed out on yesterday, you probably missed out on a lot of the action we did have happen. We covered 3 best-of-3s. We followed Luminosity for the majority of it, as you can see there, winning 2 of their matches in a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, they're looking pretty strong, kind of what you expect, though. Luminosity are kind of the second tier down looking at this kind of scenario, right? The interesting one is NoTag losing out to Team Wild there during the semi-final stages as they, well, to get into the semi-final stages, should I say, because NoTag has got a storied roster of, okay, ignore all the drama that follows around some of their players, but they're actually some of the most skilled players within the region, and yet they just seem to drop the ball every now and again. And that's my issue here, is this is a team that I would expect to be able to fight against Luminosity in the grand final. And from what we saw yesterday, it's not really looking that way.
I just want to go back to the brackets really quickly, because there is a slight error in those. If you notice, W7M was pitted to go up against Isurus. It's actually not W7M. The game we'll be covering will be Isurus up against NoTag.
Yes.
So the bracket's a little bit messed up there in the lower half of this one. Yeah, so just kind of swap those 2 around. You can kind of get an idea of how things do go. But Banks, Isurus Gaming, the only non-Brazilian team here from Argentina, representing the country on their shoulders, and they've got a hard game ahead of them.
Yeah, so for me, when I look at just this match and overall, the only way that I see Isurus kind of taking a chance here, I don't think they're going to be able to have like a 2-0 stomp in anyway, just because the individual skill that we have on a lineup like NoTag is just a step above them, right? Just in terms of the events they've been to, who they've been able to play against, their understanding is going to be a little bit higher. But for the Argentinians here, they've got nothing to lose. And actually, their map vetoes, when I've been looking at it, kind of work out that they could do well here, because the insta-bans that come out at the moment from NoTag have been, I'd say, a little bit questionable. They remove Inferno a lot, and yet the players they have on their roster would mean that you can actually lend yourself to have a knife double AWP set up there and needed. We see it so often from Brazilian sides as well. For Isurus, though, they can play into this quite well because they instantly remove Cash, which NoTag obviously can play. Cash is a storied map. We've had it for years, but it's one that they've kind of shied away from playing. They like their Mirages. They like the trains, and they often remove Cash on the second.
Actually, yeah, they played D2 yesterday twice, which was kind of surprising. And they just barely scathed by when they play against Santos, who actually had a couple of opportunities, even an Overpass. If you guys missed out on that match, we're on Overpass, so we're into like their 15th round, trying to close the whole thing out. And 2 rounds back-to-back, they let the first round they let the Bomb B Ninja defused against 2. Second round, it was a 1v3, and he clutched it. Like, there's just so many opportunities to close out a round that they really seem to lack on, and it kind of makes me wonder, do they have what it takes now? Have they fixed those problems from yesterday to today to play against an even better team?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big selling points here for NoTag, right, is you have talented players, you should be able to get this done, but if you can't get this done now, when do you, again, either make a change or kind of crumble apart? Because we've seen them make plenty of changes now. They've kind of kept this roster pretty much the same with the stand-in in Zand since May this year. So they've had time now. They've not got the excuse of you shouldn't know each other, you shouldn't be prepared. And actually, I would expect them to have a deeper map pool at this point than what we've seen from them thus far.
And something we've seen lacking with teams yesterday was like the synergy when it comes to playing, obviously, on that terror side. A lot of teams really kind of struggled in those situations. Obviously, CT is more forgiving when you're a team that's kind of newer together. You don't have that level of play just yet. But we do have vetoes coming through. And before you look at any of the screens, give me your predictions.
Okay.
You sounded so confident coming into this.
I reckon we'll see a train. I reckon we see a Dust 2. There's a potential for a nuke, depending on whether NoTag choose to ban that out first or not, because Isurus don't actually play nuke, but I think
yeah, I know.
I think they would leave it in there potentially.
I'm going to go for a guess with my extensive CS knowledge. I think we're going to see D2, Inferno, Mirage.
Ooh, okay, so you still think Inferno will sit in there?
Yeah, I think Inferno is going to stay.
Can I look now?
We can look. All right, as you can see there, we do have Cash.
Inferno, God, I told you. Oh.
Snods, can you please come back into the studio here? Clearly, I don't belong, as you see. Inferno. If actually D2 was banned as well, I would have just taken off the headset and walked out. You would have solo casted. But we can see their Cash and Inferno taken away.
Okay, Overpass.
And Overpass get picked up by Isurus, which we did see them play against Santos. So.
Yeah, both teams play it. The thing here for NoTag is it's not exactly their kind of favored map going into it, but this at least could work out as a middle ground, which means I'm assuming we might get a Mirage pick come out now, or potentially the Train pick. Mirage pick does come in. So yeah, okay, that's nice. We get Overpass, Mirage, and this is where it gets a little bit more interesting because it comes into kind of like their secondary bans off of it.
Still in there, Train still in at the moment. Inferno, I'm gonna keep going back to it's not in there, unfortunately.
Okay, so this is smart then. So they're banning out Train because they don't want to play NoTag on it. Obviously, I said they can utilize a double AWP setup quite well on it if they need to. They are heavy hitters on it. These two teams have actually played each other on Train previously before. Once Isurus won, and then once they lost, but it went to double overtime. So that could be why they ban out and they say, look, we've had a bit of back and forth. We don't want to risk it. Ooh, NoTag. Okay. So they don't want to go for it. And Dust 2 we do end up with. So
I was 2/3 right.
So was I, yeah.
We were both 2/3 right.
I just didn't get the train. I didn't get the train over the Overpass.
You know what? We're in it together.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No look. All right. So we do have our maps now. Overpass, Mirage, and Dust 2. So let's kind of break down. Obviously, it's kind of hard to go fully into at least Isurus because we don't get to see them too often playing on the worldwide scene. I think we can think more of NoTag, though. Going into that map, how does Isurus go into this match and have an idea of how to dismantle the team? I mean, this is a map they've already won on yesterday. Yeah. It was an overtime, nonetheless, against Santos. But I still think it's going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah, I feel like here in Overpass, okay, so NoTag 100% know what they're doing. They should be at least strongly prepared for it. I feel like what I want to be able to see is just Phelps being given a little bit more room to work with because he's a player that we've seen at the very top, right? He's had his glory days, and he's probably not happy in the position he's sat in at the moment. He probably knows he can do better. It's about more having that chance. For me, I still think Phelps should be a player that should be on Luminosity, but he didn't get the call for that one. So I'd say if you give him some more room to work with, let him really bring his star power in, then it's going to be really difficult for Isurus to deal with. For Isurus, though, they literally just have to play their game. Ignore what you're seeing from NoTag here. Play the game that you know how to play. Ignore what happened on the game against Santos as well. Sit there and at least think positive in it because skill-wise, they just don't match up. If we're just being fair, it's not quite there. So they have to play their tactical game. They have to play deep, and they have to have a good read on what NoTag are doing here. My worry is that NoTag, as you probably saw yesterday, they often just kind of free flow around a bit. They play that looser style, and I think that's going to give them the harder chance here when it comes to at least playing Overpass.
One thing we do have to remind all the people at home as well as ourselves is what these guys are playing for. It's Intel Extreme Masters Chicago. It's the Windy City. Let's take a look one more time to see where they're going to be playing on that big stage.
In an incredible fashion.
So they're November 10th and 11th with $250,000 on the line. And of course, all the best teams in the world. Let me just read off the list to you of the teams who are already invited. Astralis, Big, FaZe, Fnatic, Energy, Liquid, MIBR, Mouse Sports, Na'Vi, Renegades, and a Vanguard from EU with North, and then United from NA, and even MVP PK from Korea coming into this one.
My favorites.
I love to see the Asian scene come into this actually because they surprise a lot of people. So many people in esports think, oh, you know, Korea, they don't really play FPSs. Completely not true, actually. They play a ton of FPSs, but not FPSs that are popular within the Western world. And I think, you know, a little bit more time and we're going to see some new kings. Well,
yeah, the thing for me, just following on from that kind of focus on Korea there is they have proven time and time again that they can get to this level. It's just being able to beat the top tier teams, right? Learning and getting that experience. But look at Tyloo, how far they've come in the past year. They've got more qualifiers under their belt. They can go into these bigger events. This can happen for these Asian teams. We kind of almost see them get written off early on, but it's almost a bit unfair now. And you got to give up. Some of these guys are in their 30s still playing. They were playing back in 1.6 when I was still playing. Some
30s
of these guys.
old? Calm down. Calm down.
I'm at that.
We don't have 21-year-old snots here.
Yeah, so you have baby face. Now you've just got the old men. So at least
great beard.
but you at least look young. Yeah, see, I just have the old swagger being pulled around here.
Your words, not mine. But yeah, okay, again, to kind of focus things up here into this one, Isurus up against NoTag. We do have our maps of Overpass, Mirage, and D2. And we're thinking the general mindset is when it comes to one-on-one skill battle between the two teams, NoTag should easily have this match. And we're hoping to see Isurus in their kind of tactical ways overcome them. Do you think Overpass is a map they 100% have to win if they want to go through? Because they still have two maps that fared fairly well for them.
So I would say both teams, like Mirage for me now is what Dust 2 used to be. It's the everyone can play it, everyone's got it to a certain level. But Mirage is also the one where the star players can shine beyond on other maps. You get a bit more room to have that kind of overall skill power being shown. So I would say Overpass is almost a must here for Isurus because going into Dust 2, they've certainly got a chance. Mirage, if you have anyone, even KNG, you could have Ro4b, you could have Phelps, either of them three popping off and just have a monster game, I think Isurus would just be sat there going, whoa, okay, we didn't expect this, like, because it's just a map that lends itself to, you can flank a bit more, you can be a bit more cheeky with your pushes. It's kind of easier to get a read on it. Obviously, the B site also being so hard for the Ts to push in more often than not, trying to gain that mid control. And again, it's a map that everyone knows and can play. So it's kind of at the stalemate there where then it does come down to skill.
And obviously skill is going to be a major factor when it comes to these two teams. I guess to kind of broaden our spectrum a little bit more, you know, again, Luminosity in the upper bracket, Wild. I mean, I think it was a surprising victory for them beating NoTag, because even Stods yesterday was saying he expects those two teams with NoTag and Luminosity to be in the winner bracket final.
Would have agreed exactly the same.
And they won I think they won 2-1 actually against them as well. So they definitely put up a fight, but that kind of makes you wonder, is NoTag in a really bumpy spot right now, or maybe is Wild really starting to step up when the pressure's there?
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? Because we spoke about it briefly before, is just NoTag, if they don't start kind of getting these results where they're expecting to be in the grand finals, these qualifiers, facing up against your Luminosity, for example, that's when they have to start asking questions on what changes do we make? What do we do here? Do we have the right pieces of the puzzle to put together? Because you can be fantastic. You can have your phase-style lineup of everyone with pure skill. But imagine taking Karrigan out of that situation, adding another mad fragger. Doesn't really give you the every moment you need in terms of the mid-game calls and how to play it smart. So even NoTag need to step up now and just rinse their way through the lower bracket, or it's going to be a very awkward conversation, especially as they're looking to get picked up, right? They don't have an organization behind them, which means these are the qualifiers where you should be showing we're dominant in our region. We know what we're doing. We shouldn't be losing to a team like Wild. Now, that's not taking anything away from Wild. Wild is obviously a more than capable team, but I didn't get to watch that game yesterday. I know you guys were obviously covering it, but...
No, we didn't get to watch it. We didn't even cover that one. We fought Luminosity twice.
Okay, so maybe I need to go sit there and watch that back, because I'd love to know if Wild went for a more tactical style or if they had one or two players who were just on point in that game that really kind of caught NoTag off guard. And again, it comes down for NoTag. Your map pool is not strong enough for how long you've been together. Yeah,
and I guess that's another question they're going to have to ask themselves is why is it not that deep when you've been together since, you said, basically since May? They've had their solid roster. And maybe, just maybe, hiring a Serbian as a coach might be a possibility.
the magic answer.
You know, I mean, because we have to give a shout out to YNK. I'm going to do that every time I ever cast CS, just because he went from observing, literally back in, I think it was 2014, I think he was observing the AMS1 major that we had, to then being on the analysis desk, to then being now the coach of Brazil's hope in esports.
Let's say as well, right? Yanko was one of the #1 people to have on your analyst desk. Like, you put him and Sponge on a desk together, you had the dream team, right? This guy has worked hard for it and grinded his whole way up across the board. And now he's going to start and do wonders of MIBR. Now, okay, you had the Zotac win. Questionable teams in that, but it's still a big win.
100% win record for him, you know, to spin with the team. That counts, right?
Just leave now, leave, go. It's fine. He's done his job. But this is the next couple of events, at least for me, especially now looking at obviously DreamHack Masters going on right now. That is where it's going to really come in to say, okay, what have you got? What can be the real big difference makers here? What can you change up?
Well, I'm really curious to see how that team does evolve over time. And more importantly, I personally don't know. Have you been to Brazil for an event?
Oh, no.
So I was saying this yesterday with Stods. Brazil is probably one of the most passionate regions I've ever seen when it comes to esports. I was doing a League of Legends event back in 2012 in Sao Paulo, I think it was. Yeah. And we had a Brazilian team playing against a Korean team. And Korea back then, and even still to this day, it was unheard of to beat a Korean team. And this team out of nowhere, with 100 people in the stands watching at the time, beat them. And I've never heard 100 people be that loud. I swear I've even heard people of like 10,000 not even be as loud as these Brazilian fans. Because they're really passionate. Obviously, they really want to win like everything they possibly can. They have a lot of good players across multiple games, and they've already had one major success story with Key turning Luminosity, turning into SK, turning into MIBR. Jeez. And now they have Luminosity as well with another team trying to kind of rise up and still compete with the best of the best. So it's really cool for me to see qualifiers like this happen, where you get teams normally who don't get that spotlight on them have a chance to break through. What would have happened if Key never had their chance?
Well, this is the thing for me, is all of these qualifiers now. There was a time where we went through a bit of CS where it was just invite, invite, invite. The smart organizers, and I don't work for ESL directly, right? I don't have to sit here and say this stuff, but the smart companies across the board are the ones doing these qualifiers because they know they're investing in the grassroots side of things. You're going to see teams come up. We spoke about Tyloo earlier. Another thing, they started off as a pretty rough team, like they didn't have it together. They get more qualifiers, they get more opportunities. This is how we keep the growth going. This is how we bring up younger talent that comes through to the bigger talent. These qualifiers are just incredibly important because there could be one player, right, who's on a team that is not known at all, but he has some phenomenal game against notable players. He's then put on the map. He's then seen.
Yep. I can see, actually, the person sitting over there with a bag of money for you for that promotion right there. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, yeah, exactly. We do have to head to a short break while we wait for all the players to get in the server. You don't want to hear us talk nonsense here. So we'll head to that break. And when we come back, we'll kick off our first match here of the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago South American Qualifier. Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago South American Qualifier. We do apologize for the delay, but it looks like we are ready to go and kicking things off with NoTag up against Isurus over on Overpass here. I thought Phelps was going to hit that shot for some reason. On to Noxy. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined here by Banks. First cast together is going to be fantastic, and just like these shots coming through out of Zan, okay, maybe not that fantastic, because he's only able to get one. He gets eventually run over here by Isurus. So a lot of big players in Isurus, I want to point out, by the way, Banks. Noxy, pretty legitimate sniper, I would say. 1962 had a breakout game on Dust 2 yesterday. And even Tutahen had a fantastic game on Overpass as well. So I'm looking for those three players to really step up for them.
Well, you can see already, Phelps is well aware that he could be caught off guard. Deciding to push into this, though, so maybe thinks they're going slower. Oh, great timing for him. Finds himself the first frag. Will just force himself to be pushed back a little bit, but he doesn't need to overextend here. Now you put it into a 3 versus 3. Okay, you've just lost Cello on the site, but Ro4b's there ready to deal the damage and try and back him up. Gets tagged up, causes him to whiff the first shot, but he still manages to connect the headshot in there, which is going to give him all the information he needs. Phelps up high. Can he do any further damage? Actually tagging him up quite heavily through that smoke. Good positions here from the CT. Phelps is going to come round, so they both push from the same angle. They've got the health advantage. The kit's in play as well. Still a smoke up as well to use for the bomb, which is looking real nice for him. Ro4b just spotted one, but an instant trade. Now it's all on Phelps to try and take this on. Does it in style. That's 3 frags for him. The defuse will come in. The pistol round will go their way. But it wasn't that easy, Jason.
Not at all. That was a very close round here. And Isurus, I think, are going to be pretty happy that they're able to get the bomb down off of that, especially with that flank we had at Phelps over towards stairs. Either way, NoTag getting the initial start. What are they going to buy up to here? Couple of MP9s, M4 as well. I would imagine Isurus is going to be saving up for the next round. Maybe a pistol or 2 they'll invest into this, but that's going to be the maximum amount that we would expect. But instead, going for the full save. So most likely trying to go for that big buy up into the 3rd round.
I'm disappointed, Jason.
Why's
There's
that?
no MP5 being used yet.
We had it yesterday.
Oh, good.
It didn't do too well, though.
I've seen it used in a couple of games. It's good at the eco mash down, but not really anything that would replace the UMP.
Wait, so were you a 1.6 player?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what the TMP is, right?
Yeah, that's what I say, TMP and MP5 together. I tweeted that out.
Thank you.
It's nonsense
He had
noob.
no clue.
Yeah.
He had no clue. He had no clue pub masters were.
Okay, we need to sit down and educate him. No Monkaress,
Exactly.
no Pub Master. But remember, he didn't even play Source. Now, Source was a terrible game, should just be wiped off of history. But 1.6 is the real deal, and he has no idea about that. Yeah.
Oh, man, I was so tilted when he didn't know who pub masters were. The 5-man stacks they used to do, they were amazing.
That was like the dream as well, right? You know, we see the run boost now and everyone freaks out. Imagine if they watched something like they saw in Pub Masters. People would melt.
I wish you could kind of almost do that stuff still these days, as we're seeing some teams go for like triple stacks and whatnot. In the meantime, though, Isurus, they have been able to buy up here. We've got the AKs in play. We got the utility in play for them as well, most importantly. Look at Phelps pushed up here and towards bathrooms. Subsequently, just going to back off and try to go for a different angle. But look how cautious Isurus are being here. I think they realize, you know, the pressure that's on them in this round. This has to be a big round for them. Even if they don't win it, they have to pull off many frags to really kind of hinder the economy that NoTag has.
Isurus not taking too many risks just yet. Slowly pushing their way up. Zan could be a real problem for him. SMG in hand. He's trying to cover off both angles, but 1962. He's on top of it. Well aware, and this is what I mean, the cautious play here can work in their favor. Even MBL then, he was well aware of where Phelps could be. Can they trade it out though? Phelps does go down, but this is a good play from NoTag. The experience starting to shine. Switches up his guns, but there are players just around there. He's going to play it from the edge of the smoke. KNG can't get it done, and 1962V, he's going to deliver to help them push into this site. Cello, maybe with that UMP, can do some damage, but he's not able to find the frags. The smoke's going to go up, and it's going to be all on Ro4b now. In a 1v3. Now, it's not impossible, but this is going to be hard. Good after-plant positions, well spread out here from Isurus as well.
He's got the kit at least to use. Problem is he has to find these 3 players. He goes for the first. Not even able to hit the sprint, and Noxy is just going to shut him down. And Isurus, that first bar, going to come out big for them, only losing 2.
Now, you got to be fair to NoTag here. They did still have a couple of SMGs in play, but without getting as many kills as you would have probably wanted, this buy for them, they are going to buy up into it, but it's not going to be the most ideal, especially as they're going to put KNG up on the big green gun and no armor. Ro4b only on a CZ, the same for Cello. and very limited utility. So this is a kind of do or die round for NoTag. If they won it, yes, okay, it upsets Isurus, but you are really limited here. KNG is going to have to be absolutely huge. Cello already getting aggressive in water. He's got Ro4b backing him up there, so they're going to try and make the CZ's reign supreme. And the boost, I love this. This is smart. So they're obviously feeling confident that Isurus are going to still play slow like we saw in that previous round.
1962, though, could come around this corner and have quite a surprise for him. Harvey's going to push up. Going to miss out those first shots. We'll hit a couple of those to follow up with, though. Oh, wow. Down to 32 HP for 1962. And Phelps still going to be here looking for this angle. And Isurus, again, with that one frag. I like this. I like to see the slow play. We're respecting NoTag as a team in general, respecting their skill, and not trying to go for any sort of rush in. There's only going to be 2 players left on the B side.
Nicely done by Cello.
Good shot.
That could have been really bad because Phelps could have easily been taken down there. Now their positions, though, well known. Starting to get picked apart here. Oh. Very nice shots coming out. He delivers as he explodes on this B bomb site. And Zan now, the only one left alive, and only 1 player went down from Isurus. I said about the risky buy coming in there. Now it's 2-2, and there will certainly be an eco coming their way.
I mean, we talked about KNG, right? He had the big green gun. Unfortunately, they didn't go his direction, so he wasn't even able to get off a single shot, I think. Even I think Tutahen just took him down when he was in upper. And again, that's one of the players I have really to look forward to in this match, just because of how well he played yesterday up against Santos on Overpass. But a 2-2 start. Isurus looking fairly confident, looking fairly good here. And NoTag's going to have to go for that full eco.
This is going to be huge for Isurus' confidence as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not only are you up against heavy hitters like we spoke about already, but you went down on the pistol round and you didn't allow yourself to kind of get snowballed. You come in with that buy, and now you're at 2-2 scoreline, and you know they're going to be very either completely on eco or just some upgraded pistols. Only thing I don't want to see is Isurus be too slow the entire time, and already we see them start to push into the site, and no one's there, gives them all the information. MBL can go and try and make some money with that MAC-10.
Good use of the Molotovs as well, trying to deny any sort of chance for them to look for some early damage. Going to be re-smoke up. MBL not able to push this one just yet. Let's just go for the spray and print. He catches onto the first. Nice little extra pocket chain for him. Reversive as well. Pushed up in bank and continue to spray the smoke. Reversive gets actually taken on very low in HP. But it just seems like there's no way NoTag is going to break through this defense. Just looking for a frag or 2 for some extra cash. That's all they can really hope for in this situation. But that's going to be Isurus taking a 3-2 lead. Something I honestly didn't expect after, you know, hearing about NoTag quite a bit, knowing quite a few of their players. I didn't expect them to kind of go down so easy. But then again, first 4 or 5 rounds of the game, of the first map of this series. Can't count them out at all.
Oh, MBL. They danced around them a little bit there, stopped him from making too much money, but still 2 kills of that MAC-10 will work out quite nicely for them. They've got the lead here, and the question for me is, NoTag, yes, you'll buy into this, but you're not going to have an AWP, I don't believe. Yeah. Maybe K. I know he's 100, yeah, he's 100 short, so KNG's got a decision to make, what he wants to do, how he wants to play it. No warp up on Isurus either. Yeah,
so they even had the opportunity. Since MBL did die, he had AK, could have bought up an op, given it over to Noxy, then taken his AK. They could have went that route, but maybe this is an idea of their mindset. They don't want to go into the op just yet. Maybe they also realize that, to be honest, no one on NoTag will even have the opportunity for an AWP in this round. Either way, they're looking fantastic. Match going to go paused for a quick second here. Maybe NoTag going to talk things over, especially with what's on the line now in this round. An ump for Cello. And they're still hurting on money after this one.
Yeah, this is the thing. The utility's just not there. We have 1 kit in play. 1 kit to play with here. And Isurus here, I like the decision not going for the AWP, because if they went for it now, they don't know whether NoTag's going to have one or not. But also, they haven't been like put the hurt on. Say if you have a team that's got an AWP player who every time you go there, you're just getting shut down round after round, then you go, okay, maybe it's time to buy into it. But this is working so far. Save your money. You've still not got the biggest economy lead. It's obviously a lot easier on their T side, but here they still got plenty to work with. And even if they did lose this round, they can still come in with a strong buy and try reply if they wanted to do it that way.
I like how you pointed out, you know, Isurus, you wanted to see them play a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more fast-paced. And obviously in the last round, we did see that up against the safer NoTag. But I want to see those change in styles, because you don't want to kind of get into that mindset of, all right, we'll play passive every single round. And when that happens, teams can take advantage of that passive play. They can be more aggressive against you. They can catch you off guard when you're not ready for it. So this adaptation out of Isurus is looking fantastic. But they need to keep this pace up. And now we're pretty much having our eyes turned to the favorite of the matchup that we thought coming into this with NoTag, as them finding a way back into this. Currently, 7 kills for Phelps. The rest of the team, 2 or less. And a lot of Phelps' kills did come in that first round on the pistol.
I think this is the thing for Isurus here is, I said we need the Overpass to go their way, right? Looking at the next maps, we'll have Mirage and Dust 2. Dust 2 obviously even, if it's even needed at this point. But Noxy, he's the in-game leader, and like you were saying there, being unpredictable, changing up the styles, there's a lot of pressure on him because he knows it's not about the individual battles here, it's about how you can break down what NoTag are doing, look at their positions, are they playing anything too much the same? Is Phelps always trying to go aggressive and push up towards Fountain? Just be a little bit more aware to, I think for me, it's just, if he can win it tactically and he can make the right predictions, the right calls, then we are going to see NoTag sit there and say, well, we don't have an answer for this because they did trade effectively, and we've seen that already just on the buy rounds.
And one thing that kind of leads me to wonder for Isurus is that Noxy is the opper for the team too. So being the caller, the opper, and we've not seen double up out of them.
Oh, okay. No, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So being the caller and being the opper for your team who has to look for these big frags is a very difficult situation to put yourself in. But it seems to have been working for them. Obviously, they're through into the qualifiers. They're now playing against NoTag. But up against a double up setup that NoTag can run, if they do get the economy for it to support it, is going to be very hard to break for Isurus, I feel like.
And I think there for Isurus as well, like you talk about the double orb setup. We see that so often from Brazilian sides. It's kind of been you see it across the board, but I mean,
I called double op 3 years ago. Swear to God. I called double op when we had, I think it was Kenias and Happy, when Happy was running the AWP.
Oh, yeah.
And I was saying double op is going to be massive because not for the fact of running necessarily 2 ops, but if Kenias isn't feeling on that day, Happy can pick up the op and still kind of play to that level. And I said so many times that it's so important to have 2 oppers on your team to just kind of trade that off. But now with people becoming more confident running the double op setup, it seems to evolve the meta of the game.
Well, it certainly has. And to be fair, at times we've even seen some teams, especially the older MRBR lineup, love to jump in there and say, oh, let's just triple up every now and again for fun.
If it works, I'm not going to argue with them. They're way better than me.
Okay, so positions again from Isurus. They're taking it a little bit slower. Oh, are we going to see the boost over? So again, just something that NoTag might not expect here. Get the nades over.
Just the ballsness of this as well, because no one was watching short.
Yeah.
Someone literally could have peeked around the corner short, got a quick double kill against them. That's kind of the read I feel like they have against NoTag. And more importantly, the kind of pressure I think they're applying to them as a team.
Now, with the slow use of the utility here from Isurus, it will start to tell NoTag what's going down, where it might come from, but they may just kind of rotate around. There's no reason with a minute on the clock that they have to push into this, but they already start to make their way through Monster. No one aggressive towards them. Them smoke positions are absolutely perfect here. Ro4b's gonna have to come up with some huge damage. Started with a first frag, but he's instantly domed. Isurus will find their way into the site. KNG trying to put up a defense. He's boosted up, gets 2 huge kills. Can he do any more? Comes in with a 3rd, but they're still battling back. 1v2 now, and the pressure's certainly on him. He's been tagged up heavily. Can't get the kill done. Phelps is there to back him up. And KNG, okay, you had the AWP before, but with that M4, you just locked it down.
Really unfortunate for Isurus too, because like you were saying, the slow use of the utility coming in, it was all well done. They had time to actually push into that attack and take that site relatively quickly, but because of the delay they used, it allowed NoTag to fully rotate over and have KNG boosted up to get those 3 quick and massive kills for his team. But now tying things up, and for NoTag, unfortunately for them, don't have an op in their hands, and we do see one now for Isurus on the hands of Noxy, so I'm imagining we'll be seeing him push on the outside, maybe look towards long, maybe look for an opportunity to make the big green be hurtful, but NoTag aren't giving him an opportunity to look for an easy shot.
Oh, great spot. The boost working out from MBL, thinks it's all clear. They can see him over the top, won't allow him to get down into connector, and already starting off an early pick is exactly what NoTag would have wanted. Gives them a huge advantage and also gives them the information, okay, there's probably more players potentially around connector. They can pass that information over to the players at B. And now it's up to Isurus to actually find some sort of an answer here. Now, Noxy, like we said, he's got the AWP in his hand, going down long, but no one's challenging that at the moment. So he's not going to be able to find an opening until potentially he gets closer to the site. But KNG, oh my, oh, okay. He's going to be unhappy that he missed them few shots. That was a potentially easy free kill, and instead, he's now got the pressure on around him. They know exactly where he is, and this is where 1962V is going to start to make his way in.
Even with that frag, that you can see they're just holding themselves back, taking their time to go for the execute. If that's the direction they still want to commit, they've got time to rotate back towards B if they want to. They got 35 seconds on the clock. Reverso, though, very far pushed up towards long. The backup of Noxy there with the AWP. But still, not being given a single angle. He hasn't shot off a single bolt in this round. And Zand, oh, if he only knew That reversive was right there behind that wall. This has got to be execute. This has got to be the go time. 15 seconds left. They got to get this bomb down. Nice little smoke over towards Bank. Nice little flashbang as well coming out. Phelps gets the first big frag, and Zand as well responds.
Oh, Phelps going in for the second kill. Couldn't make it work. Still all to play for. Noxie's gone onto the AK, but he can't make it work. Zand holding it with a 4K for that round, starting off with a strong pick for the player trying to sneak into connector there. And again, I just felt like that was a bit too slow from Isurus, right? You had the early pick, you've allowed the rotation to come in, and okay, Overpass is a map you can easily get your rotations round. You can come through connector, you can go all the way back round, come through CT spawn into the site. It was very quick from NoTag. They had their finger on the trigger, right? And Isurus, again, 2 rounds now, just a little bit too slow.
It's like they're calling their bluff, you know, Isurus, or NoTag. It's like Isurus like, all right, we'll execute on you, but we're just gonna wait. And NoTag's like, all right, well, we still think you're going to come this direction. We still think you're going to hit this site, so we're just going to stay here and keep it stacked out. KNG is going to miss out a shot there. We'll hit NBL, though, on the next try. Supposed to be careful of these CZs, but luckily for him, he has Xander off to the side to help him out here. And that's just going to be a clean round for NoTag. More importantly, able to not lose out a single player, so no buying up again for either the team or either the players. Ro4b, though, still on the SMG. He's going to be up against the AKs and the op again out of Noxie. So maybe we're finally going to have our first op battle.
Ro4b as well, going to sit there with the SMG still, which is fair play. Like, why not? You can still be close range enough to make it work. Overpass is a map dependent on position, especially if he's going to sit around connector area where he can get right up close and personal with him. And already aggression being shown here from NoTag. And they're going back. Okay, so they're going back for this same boost again. It can work, it gives them a lot of information, but the question is, will Isurus look for it because they saw it before?
I was actually really interested in the use of the smoke out of Isurus there on the Molotov that NoTag threw, trying to get in towards Playground. They invested the smoke, which means they really wanted to take that control of that area and deny it away from NoTag, expected them to get aggressive potentially off the back of that. So that investment, obviously going to be a big hit when they comes to execute onto one of these sites. But it shows the mind of what Isurus was planning, and more importantly, what part of the map they're trying to deny away from the enemy team.
You can see it already once again. Slow and steady, every single corner being checked here. Ro4b ducked down, waiting for someone to rush out to him. So he'll hear what's going on at least. He'll be able to pass that over. But as we see Isurus already at 45 seconds on the clock, gonna go pick up the bomb. They've had a heavy focus towards A, right? Over and over again, they feel this is the one they can try and force their way into. Will they be prepared for KNG's AWP?
It's been the least successful fight, though, for them, I think, too. Even though it's the one they've tried the most, it hasn't really worked out in general. Noxie, though, coming in from a different angle. KNG's going to spot him out, get a great shot onto him. Does take down his enemy opper. He's got to be careful of those. Mentor's long. He's got to be flashed up. Don't tell me he's going to get that kill. Inversive. Got to close that out a little bit quicker, but Tutin comes in with a massive shot into Zand. And finally, Isurus, after it feels like the 4th try, have been able to take the site.
Well, you can't say they're not persistent with it, and potentially it can work out for him. Cello's going to try and come through the flank here on connector. Phelps and Ro4b still up, but Ro4b with that SMG, it's going to be less than useful now. He's already fallen. Cello goes down. It's all on Phelps. He may find the first, but he's got to dance around the rest now. A couple of them are tagged up. He's got potential here, but it needs to be crisp from him. Comes around the side, knows exactly where to look for the next players. He just needs them to poke out. Goes on to grab himself that. Ooh. He's got the AK, he's just going to run away, playing the risky game there. It makes sense to try and save that. Like, their money's not perfect, but you should be able to get a buy off the back of this. For Isurus, though, what a dominant push in there. Very confident, very clean. Even with KNG getting that opening kill on the AWP, they were able to take him down. And he really should have been a bit more aware, or at least had a smoke down to cover off that player that took him down from long.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for him. I guess he didn't really expect a player, which you obviously should, coming from long. But I think for me, it was more important of Isurus. When they lost that first player with Noxie going down, they threw their smokes and they went. They didn't throw their smokes and wait. You know, they didn't, again, delay the push in. They actually committed to it this time. And NoTag wasn't able to rotate to actually stop that one from happening. In the meantime, though, NoTag, they have been able to buy up, like you said, but investing everything into this round, even their utility could be lacking quite a bit. But they're giving KNG an opportunity to go for a big pick in towards short. But the monster push is going to come in. Ro4b's not going to expect that one. NBL gets the entry frag, but there's still going to be 2 players left on this B side to try to hold.
Oh, KNG again, unable to get too much done with that AWP in hand. Cello and Phelps, they're picking up frags, but Cello is instantly traded out. 2v3, it's certainly winnable, but look at this pushed up position. Great work from 1962. He's only able to get 1, but now they know exactly where Phelps should be coming from. And does he go for this, or does he try to save? Phelps is certainly a man capable of clutching this out, but he doesn't really have the information on where the players are in the site.
Just have a smoke, though, he could use. And if that kill happened on reverse, so there's a good chance he could have won that one. But Isurus doing a fantastic job of fighting back. It was a very critical round for them to secure because now they've broken NoTag in the economy game. And this should be Isurus taking the lead back for themselves. But this needs to be a clean round for them. Don't want to throw away any of these weapons. And I think also an opportunity for them to talk things over. Their fast pushes have been working out. When they get aggressive quickly, well, not necessarily get aggressive quickly, when they commit to a push, that's when they're taking these rounds, and that's where they're catching NoTag off guard.
I think they're the two huge differences, right? They do the executes, they throw over some smoke flashes, get themselves in a potential to push in, then they wait a bit, then they push in. That's where they've kind of fallen apart a little bit. But on these rushes where they confidently just go in for it, they're feeling it, they get stuff like this done, clean up the site.
You know what's confusing to me is that they've tried the delayed or the execute then to delay multiple times, but they didn't like rotate to B or rotate to A. They didn't go to the other site. They stuck there so many times in a row that NoTag can just almost assume every time, all right, well, if they're executing, they're going to come. Yeah, I mean, they're committed, but maybe a quick rotate to their site would be a little bit of a better play for them. Either way, NoTag not going to win this round. Just trying to pick up a weapon here, reversive. Spot out Zand. Able to get the frag, but he's able to shove him away in the meantime. But quite pleasantly surprised, you know? We talked about NoTag as being the favorite in the matchup. The NoTag as being the favorite to get through into the finals, the winter bracket finals, or the grand finals up against Luminosity. And Isurus are giving them definitely a run for their money.
Now, Zand going down there is less than ideal because he was the one with Kevlar as well. It should have been KNG kind of poking out, trying to find the weapon, if anything, and Zand wait for someone to potentially come to them. So nothing gained here for NoTag at all, just one kill. And now Isurus get a 6-5 lead. They're looking strong. And remember, this is on the T side. I still look at Overpass as a map that can definitely be a 9-6, 8-7. You either, for me with Overpass, you either get teams who just aren't very capable of it, they're not confident with it, they maybe have to play it every now and again, you see some stomps, or otherwise you get some ridiculously close games. And so far, so good, because these two teams have tried to deliver in multiple ways, but NoTag here, again, okay, you got the weapons, but no utility, which means KNG pushes out, he tries to find an opening kill, already flashed out of it, he's backed up by Phelps, but Isurus, they're sitting back chilling, as per usual, they're aware.
Playing passive and maybe expecting this push to come through. It's one of the first times we've seen NoTag get that aggressive in middle. Noxy got shot up very low on HP, down to 53 health, and this pushing towards stairs. KNG's waiting. He's got a teammate off to his side. Reversive gonna actually go for a quick shoulder peek there, but it's not gonna be enough. And 1962 will fall as well, and those refrags not gonna be there. That was the play we need to see out of one of the star players out of NoTag, but it's not the round just yet for themselves.
Oh, brilliant positioning from Zand as well. They go on the hunt for KNG, expect him to be there alone. They had no idea of his position. Phelps is also around the corner now as well, but he still goes down. Gets caught looking the opposite direction, but the AWP shot's not going to land. KNG is going to deliver some more, and just when they need it, he's been able to step up. Not once, but twice now. And it's all up to Isurus to, I guess, try and force. You've got the money, right? So you can try and force your way into a site, potentially take some more bodies with you, because any damage you do here to the CTs is huge, but he's only going to get one.
A little unfortunate, but I mean, with 6 rounds already on the board for themselves and able to buy up into now potentially the 7th for him, still, I think, in a very good place up against NoTag. I think they're proving that Overpass was a fantastic choice for them. I just wonder if Isurus does take this map and NoTag takes Mirage, how good is NoTag going to be on a map like Dust 2?
Yes. Do you think from what we've seen so far? No, do you think from
it's like, yes, Jason, you're very observant. You remembered the 3rd map.
I wasn't meaning it like that. No, it sprung a thought in my head that just based on what we've seen, I said obviously Isurus need to take this win if we want to go and see potential 3 maps or just see them win it out. Just from what we've seen already from Isurus, they're well aware of the tactical trying advantage of it. Obviously needs a bit of refinement from already what we've seen, what we've kind of understood here. But I do see the potential of us having Dust 2 in there because NoTag haven't done anything spectacular that I've gone, oh yeah, they're looking super dominant. Yeah. It's relied on KNG, had a couple of really good rounds, Phelps as well, kind of locking it down, but there's not been one player able to kind of lead the charge and say, look, we've got this comfortably. There seems to be that confidence lacking in them.
I think, sorry, that the rounds that they have kind of won so far is just more about Isurus messing up.
Yeah.
Isurus not committing to a push. I mean, they're committed, but they're not committing quick enough to a push.
Flash,
so not to beat a dead horse.
And then 5 seconds, maybe they know we're here. We'll go for it, guys. We got this.
They thought we rotated. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but I would imagine Isurus, they have that advantage now of being predictable. And that's the perfect time to not be predictable, is when you are predictable. if that makes any sense at all.
No, no, so you mean like now they could just go for an all-out rush, almost very limited utility push out and catch them?
They can do that, or they can do the execute and then rotate to their site, because the last
haven't done that
time,
yet.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like they're predictable, but now this is the perfect time to not be predictable and switch things up. And that whole mind game of, oh, are they going to commit to it this time? Are they not? But look at this 4-man stack coming over towards the B site. Meantime, Zan's going to be pushing out over towards A. They really want this early kill, and they're really expecting Isurus to come this direction. Some fantastic flashes, just dislodges KNG. And look at this, Tutan's going to push up towards short. He gets a fantastic shot on Cello. One's going to be nice. But can they get more? And again, now it's just slowing the pace down. They have the man advantage. There's no need to commit to a push.
That is exactly what he wanted to happen. Pre-fired the angle. He was going for that shot whether anyone was there or not. He finds himself the opening pick. It's only Zand on A, because guess what? Like you said, NoTag are predicting, hey, when they get the kill, they generally hit that site. They haven't really done the fakes. Now it's a different ball game.
It's going to be a hard retake, too. The utility, they have some there, yes, for NoTag, but they're kind of locked into an odd position. You can see now just spraying at that fence, hoping that someone's pushed up aggressively. Bomb now down, 2-10 over towards Optimus. And I think NoTag are just going for the save.
Yeah, they have to, because it's a huge amount invested in this. They don't want to get themselves onto an eco. Keeping 4 guns is certainly easily workable here. You can get KNG to drop over the UMP over to Cello, for example, and it still gives them the chance of keeping this like 7-7 potential and keeping it as close as possible.
It's insane just to see that because of that one shot at Tutan, they win the round. Like that's ridiculous. And I mean, I know Tutan doesn't have that many frags at the moment, but he is getting a lot of impactful frags. Exactly.
And that's the second time we've seen him do something exactly like that on 2 different positions. Yeah, because when he literally run through Monster, instantly domed KNG before he could even fire off a shot, and then went in to just wreak further havoc.
Exactly. Very explosive players we're seeing. Again, only 7 frags, but I'd say 5 of those 7 have been very important frags to net them the lead they currently do have.
Round-winning frags. And too much do we do in CS, we get caught up in, oh, well, yeah, he got monstrous amount of frags. He must be the best player. No, because some people open it up for the best players to then do it. And it's like
every entry fragger in the world is tilted by that statement.
He's like, but they wouldn't have had this if it wasn't for me.
Exactly. What was it, MBK? Because I know they came at Apex, like traded the entry kill position multiple times. And Apex actually was one of the best entry fraggers in the game at that time, but he got no credit because people are like, oh, he doesn't have that many frags. Well, it doesn't matter. That one frag he did get gave him the round, and Phelps can open things up himself onto NBL. Get aggressive push in middle, a little bit of a hole in the smoke. But Tutan again, he's pushed towards B. There's a big commitment by NoTag towards the A side. Has worked out, yes, to get the frag, but they've given up complete position over towards B. And that call's got to be made by both teams to hit this now.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for NoTag, actually. Okay, the rotation's coming in. You're going to be smoked off now, which means 1962 can push up. And he just failed the upper smoke.
That's not good. Noxy, though, is going to actually lock this one down. I guess they wanted to leave it open for him to pick up some frags. You see 1962 trying to sneak through the smoke, get sprayed down. He's going to take down Cello, though, with his own spray. A flashbang to help get him out of this position, too. Phelps going to run around the corner. So has Ro4b. But the bomb is now down here, and we're in a 3-on-3.
Good positions, though, from Isurus. They've kept him at bay. It's already ticking down semi-fast. Reversive with a nice kill on Zan's, getting him from water. Ro4b is just going to push around, does find the kill, but he needs to get another one very quickly. Look at that bomb timer already. Noxy. Oh, very good position. Ro4b living the dream right now. If they can get on this bomb fast enough, it should be possible. Can he stop it from happening? KNG's there, and NoTag. As I said, Ro4b had to get that opening picks. Then they rush straight in. The fuse comes in, 7-7, based on the fact as well that they had limited utility, that save from the previous round. That is a big pickup.
Really unfortunate, too, for Isurus, because they had the site dead to rights. They had it locked down. I think Noxy was watching upper, which is where he got his first frag from. Even with that smoke missing, wasn't that big of a deal in the end, because the big push did come in through CT anyways. That was 1962 getting aggressive and getting caught out by Ro4b. Now going into our final round of the first half. And just have slowed things up yet again here. And KNG's got this area locked down. He's got Zand over to the side to help him out through connector. They won't have an opportunity for a shot here, at least this time.
And good use of the smoke coming out there. Well, he's keeping it bay a little bit longer. KNG playing aggressive on long. First time we've seen this. But he's got no one to back him up. There's no refrag potential if he goes. But he starts off strong. So he's won the AWP Jules 1-to-1 battles. Can he get any more damage done here? Zand It's making a lot of noise. Reversive, well aware of what's going on. KNG delivers a second kill, though. Third kill as well. They continue to push into him. And this is where KNG delivers the star performance that we spoke about, right? Game-changing moments, 4 kills for him. They just kept running straight into him, and NoTag will secure the first half by 1 round.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to head to that short break. When we come back, we'll be doing the continuation here of our first map of our first series of the day. Now it's a quick 2 minutes, as you see there, is now the big push is coming from Isurus over towards this B site to stop the push. 1962 comes up big with a couple of frags. Looks like the teams wanted to get this one underway and didn't give us our allotted 2-minute break. It's in our contracts, Banks.
Quick.
We need our personal masseuses to come in. Give us quick rubs.
Make sure we're feeling
shoulder
calm.
rubs. Could have been feet, who knows?
Yeah, well, we are standing. There you go. There you go. Let's just see where my sick and twisted mind went straight away.
If you looked at me, you saw my mind went there too. Either way, NoTag with 2 players left alive, up against 3. Noxie in a really nice position here. Gonna have opportunity for an opening shot as he sees them coming through. Bathroom's gonna back away. Hope to stay alive, most importantly, so they have the 3-on-2 man advantage. Reversive's gonna have the kit as well. Bomb should ideally be going down here, so a lot of money going the way of NoTag. Also, there still is an opportunity to win this one. No one's flanking around from behind. They're coming from the same direction. They will be sticking together.
Really nice. This is a good decision.
Oh my gosh, they're just going to defuse it.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
Oh, that's awkward. That is awkward. Okay, I thought...
Second shots came their direction when they were leaving long. They should have turned around.
Well, I thought what they were going to do, why I said it was a nice decision, you go down the long peak, right? You're still together, which means most teams would expect you to be in 2 separate locations, so they're still looking for one. So they could have just hidden there. But instead, they wanted to go the whole long run through bathrooms and come up.
Going for the marathon. Going for the marathon, I guess.
Well, pistol round at least secured now for Isurus. They didn't manage to do it on their T side, which will give them the money to work with. You can already see from the bomb plant, though, they're going to rely on Phelps to be a heavy hitter, get the opening, try and get them some weapons backed up by the forced-up pistols as well. So at least for Isurus, as soon as they hear that AK fired off, don't be passive and be scared, but at least be aware of, you know, exactly how they should be trying to plan out the rest of this round.
Exactly. You see NBL and Reversive, though, pushed up towards short. So they're just going to back away. There's an opportunity to pick up a couple of major frags here, especially if KNG and Phelps did go that direction. But again, trying to utilize this AK the best they can. The utility's not really going to be there, but look at NBL. Molotov, flashbang, nade, and smoke. Currently going to be sitting as like a rotator position at A, over near stairs.
And they don't have any information, Isurus, though, where they're so passive in the sites. No one's really pushed up. They had the early push at the beginning out towards middle, but now it's been NoTag. They've got full control, which allows them to do little things like this. Keep boosting Phelps up, see if we can find any opportunities to work with. All it needs is one tap for him to go and get a first opening kill and then push in.
I think he might have seen it there, too.
Yeah, just spotted it out. Sadly, the boost gets dropped off. But now they'll use the utilities. So they do want to push into this A site. Phelps to lead the charge. Can he get the opening pick? No, he was completely found. He's going to be just wrecked instantly. The rest of the pistols now falling apart. And this is just a good hold. Isurus may have been passive at the beginning, maybe too passive, but it worked out for him regardless. Phelps found none of the entries. And even going into the site, he was dominated straight away.
I like how they actually played up closer, too, for Isurus. Because since it was such a heavy investment for NoTag, they were looking for at least a minimum of a bomb plant, right? But they denied that outright, not giving the opportunity for it. Noxie, and more importantly, again, 2-to-head with those 2 massive frags, just completely deny it. And now the downside, NoTag gonna have to save this round. And going into the next, still gonna be looking a little bit worse for wear.
And a real interesting thing for me was, normally, you see where Isurus was playing from, they want to have a long-range fight because they're going up against the CZs, which is so good. Instead, they were willing to take that battle, and just the sheer numbers and the positions, how you can see the crossfire going on, worked out perfectly for him.
And NoTag gonna pick up the pace. A couple of P250s in there. 210 already able to get the first onto KNG. That was in towards mid. And now 210 just going to rotate back around, trying to stop the plant from going down. They get dinked up, but not going to be too worried as 210's going to be there with Noxy. Turns around for Phelps. And 210 gets himself 3 kills. And again, he's not fragging like crazy. I mean, yeah, he's up to 12 now, whereas previously down to 7 in the last half. But the impactful kills he's getting is so important for them.
And this is it. He held strong on that round where Phelps could have come in and dominated. Now then just, okay, a little bit of stat padding, taking down the ecos, but it was still a hold regardless, right? Yeah. He was able to deal with it, and now it puts him in a really good stead going into this round. KNG does have the AWP, but no armor, no utility to play with. Nice smoke to cover off Monster as well, which to me, at least for Isurus, we'll see, yeah, you're going to get a little bit aggressive. So 1962 is going to play more forward towards it. Bounces back actually straight away. So, okay, I guess he's just looking for an early rush there. They do need to be aware of KNG's position, though, because he'll be looking for any opportunity he can find. Reversive. Ooh, might. I thought he was going to maybe try push round there. Phelps is waiting in water. He certainly would have heard it. Good pre-fire. Some damage done. Zan's there coming through the door. That was a real good bait. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be the first frag going the way of NoTag, as they're going to have the man advantage into this very crucial round for them. KNG's been relatively quiet. I'd say he's been relatively quiet on the entire map so far, except that last round where he did get a quad kill.
Yeah, it was his rifles that were coming into real strong plays there. It was the AWP that was lacking for him until, like you said, the 4 players just kind of kept pushing him, and he was just there tapping away, dominating, showing he can do it.
To be fair, I think the unfortunate part for him is he didn't really have many opportunities with the AWP to really shine, because it was mostly up close and personal, where he was just hit from different angles that he didn't have a chance to go for the shot on. And speaking of shots, Cello's going to take down MBL for the engagement onto the B site here. There's going to be 1 man left alive. It's 210. He starts to come with the spray and pray. Gets 1 down, but 1's not going to be enough. And it looks like NoTag have a relatively easy time taking this round.
Yeah, surely. Noxty's just going to sit here and save now. He doesn't want to risk this weapon, but with that bomb only just going down, if NoTag wanted to, they could quite happily go and hunt. They've had the plant down. You can already see some players starting to make their way around the map to go on the hunt for him. I've got to say as well, we were talking about what Isurus managed to do on their T side there for it. NoTag at least will now be able to kind of go in for their pure aim, pure style, right? They can just, you just saw it then, right? Cello walks into the site, 2 quick kills, because he was just confident with his own ability to rush in and dominate them.
Also, you saw a reversive there. I think that was 7 enemies flashed. Next closest, I think, was 2. And I think that was maybe 2 to hit, if I'm not mistaken. He's playing the support role for his team here, trying to allow the big key players for his team to really step up here. All right, move into the 20th round. NoTag still down by 1. And the potential for the AWP battle is going to be there yet again here with Noxy able to save that AWP from the last.
And another thing, there's a big difference on just how you saw the execute between NoTag and Isurus on how they've attacked sites. Remember, Isurus, very utility heavy, perfect smokes being put down on the floor. NoTag, a couple of flashes, 1 smoke, run straight in. They were just like, we're here to play, we're going to wreck face. Ooh, spots the shoulder, can't make the connection.
Sticking around, though. It's a ballsy angle to hold, too.
Very open. Okay, he's got the player backing him up from connector, but easily could have been pushed from either fountains or playground there. Certainly could have been flashed out of that position as well. 1962 looking to try and hold Monster a little bit aggressive. Hope to see someone try and come through that smoke. It's Phelps on the other side for now. We've actually got quite forward positions here from Isurus, actually.
Yeah, looking for that early contact. I think eventually as the time does tick away, they're going to back off. I'm surprised to see Noxty still sticking around here.
He wants that opening kill. He believes he can get it. And actually, it's just Cello kind of in his way if he does want to push down.
Looks like it indeed will be a B hit, though, the bomb. Rotating back over, KNG, trying to push in towards short, looking for an early opportunity. He's going to have a player over towards Monster to his right. He's going to have a man challenging him indirectly, I guess, for 1962. Does escape that one, most importantly. Flashbang to come through. The Monster player has rotated back. And even though Noxy's going to rotate in towards upper to look for an angle. And I like how they're playing passive here, too. Not challenging them on the initial get-go.
1962 needs to come up huge. Gives away his position. Misses the first tap. Can hear what's going on. His teammates are falling around him. The AWP is able to chime in, though. He just sat around waiting. KNG finds one with that AWP finally getting it done. But the positions here from the CTs is so far at the back. They've been pushed away from the utility. Bit of a spray fight going out, but he's still unable to make the shots connect. NoTag are playing this very well. Nice and defensive. 1962 knows he needs to be able to pick up a kill very soon. KNG missing. That's the second one he's missed actually from that position, but the rest of his teammates are falling. 1962, he wanted the opportunity, but it just took too long.
It's unfortunate for Noxy too, because he got smoked off in that direction from actually killing anyone on the retreat from the bomb plant to get the initial frag. But KNG is actually, funny enough, he was still on shore. He didn't rotate towards Monster to look for the cover towards upper. He's trying to play a little bit of an off angle. It worked out for him and his team. Now tying things up now at 10 apiece between the two. Unfortunately for Isurus, just going to be down to a save here with 1962 with the P250. And that's a quick push towards long.
And this is the thing for Isurus. Now, you're potentially looking at 11-10 going down. You might even need to get a double eco on go if you want to play heavy utility. KNG's getting pushed up here massively, though, as he delivers the first. Ro4b's backing him up. He's taking a lot of damage, and he will fall. Not the ideal situation. Now, it's not going to be round ending, but KNG at least should have been able to hit a few more of them shots. A few misses coming in on these last couple of rounds, unexpectedly there.
Yeah, like we've been saying, I think more of his power has been coming from, you know, the M4, the AK. His op hasn't. Again, I don't want to be like too critical. It's not necessarily like he's been missing a ton of shots. It's just he hasn't had that many opportunities to hit the shots yet.
What we expect, right?
Yeah,
when you think of KNG, you're like, okay, this should be better than what we're seeing so far.
Everyone has an off day. It happens, you know?
No, you never have an off day, Jason.
Well, oh, that smoke's going to miss. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Means they're not going to block off Monster, and if there's a man challenging it, that's an easy potential rush through.
Oh, the tag. Hit him. That's brilliant. That's a great start for KNG. Maybe he heard us. Maybe he can hear it and say, hey, wait a second, guys. I can make these shots. I can do the old me. I can make it happen. Either way, an early kill and the damage being done and NoTag. The confidence is there. It's starting to show. They feel, like we said, it's a looser style, right?
Definitely.
Get a bit of a default. Wait to see if they're going to come for them. Already we can see there Noxty with the M4 pushed up in playground, but no one's pushing for him yet, so he's got to wait for them.
I think it looks like they're playing more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think is a good way to describe it in my head. I'm definitely more confident. I mean, look at KNG. He's pushed out with AWP again from a short. He's not going to have opportunity off the bat, but it's going to be a smoke for 1962, who's already felt the brunt of KNG. 50 seconds left, and NoTag going to start to slowly make their way in towards B. This could be big for NBL, though, if he can hit these shots. A flashbang comes through. That was a teammate's flash. It looks like it was misplaced, unfortunately. No, Isurus is just falling apart.
That is what you hate to see. He had all
the worst timeline for them.
Yeah, because he could have nicely had those 2 kills. If that flash had worked, they would have been completely blinded out. Noxty again is probably going to try save, but he can't even run away because Zan comes in from behind. And 12-10 now. Again, no money really in the bank to play with.
Miss smoke in the start of the round, miss flash there. Like the pressure might be getting to them. I was wondering if that miss smoke was intentional to be like, oh no, we missed our smoke. Come B.
Yeah, come in, we're open.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that was an intentional, not an intentional miss. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, miss smoke, miss flash, a completely missed opportunity for Isurus to pick up a round there, and now they're gonna be back on eco. They're starting to slip away from them. NoTag most likely could be up to 13 off the back of this.
Now again, a rush coming out. Cello's expecting it. Obviously, they saw what happened last round. Ro4b just spraying him down, and this should be a nice, easy cleanup for him. Instantly domed. Only 1 player remains, and this will be just a nice, comfortable round for him. Now, he maybe sat on the B site hoping that someone would have snuck in, maybe tried to plant the bomb, and he can cause a bit of an upset. But for him, now, just try and grab a gun. That's really your best hope here.
It's going to be difficult to do, especially with all 5 players left. At least for him, Cello's low. One of his low. And look how passive NoTag are playing, even though there's only 1 player. I feel like if you just group up and push as 5, there's no way that 210 should be able to hold on to this. But at the same rate, maybe NoTag expected 210 to have a weapon since he was the only one not there with them on the rush. So they don't want to give away any potential spray or any potential frags they don't need to. Or maybe I'm reading into it too much. I don't know.
No, but it would be a good thought to have, right? Say they run into him, he's there with an M4, and they go confidently in, not expect him to be there, he could spray him down. It is still about playing it safe, because this is a close game regardless. Like, NoTag may be on a bit of a roll now, but they cannot take him lightly. They've seen what Isurus can do.
Sure. Well, 28 seconds left. Hopefully for NoTag they don't throw... Have you ever seen a team who was up 5v1 and just didn't plant the bomb and lost?
didn't plant the bomb. They've like left the bomb at the back and not picked it up in time. I've seen that. So you know, like they throw it, but you see there it was quite thrown back, not all the way in T-spawn. Yeah. It was as if I'd watched the team, and I remember it being quite. It was like a tier 1 game, and it was like one of the players just threw the bomb. Whoever's supposed to pick it up, because some teams have designated bomb carriers, didn't pick it up. They run into the site. They killed 4. 1 player remained, and they didn't get back in time to get it.
I think I've seen it. It hadn't been on Reddit. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before. Like that's it feels bad, man.
That's where you sit there and you go, you hate to see it, but you've just gifted him away.
Wait, does Snod not know what feels bad, man is? If he doesn't know what Monk S is.
That's pretty new, so I'm really hoping. We're going to have to just tomorrow I'm going to test his knowledge, and I'll report back to you, Jason. I'll be like, feels bad, man. See what he says.
I mean, if he's still sick, there's a chance it'll be you and me here again. Who knows? So I apologize to all the viewers. I have to sit through that. 1962, a nice little cover for Reversive there. That's the first frag. Noxie, unfortunately, has gone down, I think, a little bit earlier on the round, so a little bit off on that. But 1962 down to 13 HP. Not in the best of positions here. And you can already see NoTag has set up for a B push.
Already, just the positions on site. Isurus, they seem prepared for it, but you can't be fully confident, right? At least what we were saying with Isurus, they were that predictable star where NoTag is so loose. Yes, they can run in and be confident, but they're not exactly one you could say, yep, okay, they're definitely hitting this based on what we've seen already throughout this. Cello just walking in dry. He's just sat there saying, okay, what have I got to play with? Only now throwing down the smoke. He's been given this is too much room to work with. Spray comes in, Phelps missing a lot of shots there. Bit embarrassing for him. Cello still manages to find 1962. Reversive though, able to deal the damage, giving his team hope. And this is where NoTag should be a little bit scared, because Phelps is now extremely low, having pretty much sprayed a full clip and not hit anyone. And now KNG's got the AWP, but he's going to have to deliver.
Against those 2 players flanked from short too, and they actually caught off a player from NoTag, and now the opportunity for a massive flank. Phelps, who has 2 HP, has to hope to take down 1 player. That shot going to connect, but not going to finish him off. And it's all on Phelps, alone against 3 with no health. Gets the first, but eventually going to be finished off by MBL. And Isurus will fight back again and go up to 11.
Imagine a world where Phelps didn't miss that spray. Like, Cello had the dream, right? Walked in, no one looking at him, didn't have to do anything, just tapping away, got his opener. Then everything else fell apart from. To me, there was no way NoTag should have lost that.
It's probably because the round was too easy. So NoTag's like, you know what, you're just giving us this round, so we're just going to give it back to you. You know, let's just throw this one away, because we want to have some hard games.
Yeah, we want fun. We want to give the viewers at home the best action possible.
Exactly.
So let's just let it slide.
They're a people's team.
Yeah.
They're a people's team.
Though given some people on that team, they might not think so.
You know, has a turn of face here.
Now, very good start. Phelps has been found. Noxie, though, needs to be careful. Goes in for it, but I don't know. You've got the opening pick. Do you really have to stay there? Because, like, I'm sat there worried for him. Okay, he's got the backup. Right?
Yeah. It just came back to say hello. Oh, that's great.
That's the pressure situations, right? So he got that first kill, feeling really good. Oh, yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to get the second kill. No, not going to happen.
Just took a wrong bounce. Well, still a lot of time for NoTag to work with, even though they are down a player. Cello just barely missing the pixel off a player there who was jumping across. And KNG with the op again. I mean, he's hit a couple of shots that has done damage. Like, for instance, the shot onto, I think it was Reversive, who was jumping to check water.
Yes.
He hit a shot in the last round onto a player, I think it was NBL, who came in from short. He didn't finish him off. Get a lot of leg shots and a lot of shots through walls, but again, he hasn't really been converting them into frags. His team hasn't been able to really convert them into frags.
If NBL pokes out now. Tags coming up as well as they have the connector control. Can't fight for water just yet. NoTag seems to be wanting to focus on this A site. KNG looking for some sort of an opening, but they're just walking around each other for now. Instantly, though, Zan finds himself the first pick. Are they going to look for NBL? Oh my God, he gets the spray down of 2. Nice and easy for him. Gives him a golden opportunity in 1962. Quick on the flank. But is he aware that Cello's there? Oh.
5 seconds left.
Run away.
Just needs to save your weapon. What are you doing? Why do you keep pushing out? All right. He's going to realize that, and that was well done, especially by NBL. Yeah, he held to his guns. You know, he stayed confident. He did go for that first shot onto KNG, who came around the corner, and then the flashbang. I want to say that was out of 1962. Because it actually flashed at the 2 players who came around the corner on him and gave him the opportunity to pull off double kill, and then 1962 came in for the 3rd frag. Really well done by Isurus there, considering how hit or miss they've been with some smokes and flashes in this half. That's definitely a massive one they needed.
I'd love to get a replay, though, from NBL, right? Because the first T that looked at him, so KNG just walked straight past him. I believe it was Ro4b, the 2nd player. And Ro4b just looked, but did the lazy peek where he looks and expects no one to be there, looks straight back and goes, oh, God, no, and errors were made.
Well, unfortunately for him, maybe unfortunate for the team. There's definitely a chance Isurus could come back in this. Again, Mirage, we're expecting to go the way of NoTag. And potentially going over to D2 if Isurus can't take this map. And D2 is a map that really, it's anyone's game. Isurus definitely have shown they can play the map quite a bit yesterday.
Doesn't expect Phelps to be there, and there is no refrag potential for the CT side, which means reversive goes down. It's just a 1-for-1 switch. And I got to say, right, have you seen this? That NoTag now, that confidence has dropped off a bit. They've not just played slow, but it's like when they're going in, you don't feel that he's just going to rush out. He knows where to look, where to focus on. It's more that, okay, Isurus are swapping their game up now. Even KNG then, you saw him approach it really slow, but he didn't have the right angle. He wasn't able to get the opening kill.
See, I mean, speaking of the lack of confidence, how passive they're playing towards that B site. They do have 1 smoke, 1 nade, and 1 Molotov.
It's the lack of flashes that scares me here.
It's going to be so hard to penetrate this. I mean, luckily for them, Isurus doesn't have much either. They only have 1 flashbang now as the Molotov has gone down. 1962 going to be without utility, looking to push in. He's giving away his position out with those first shots. And Bill's going to be there from short, though. Picks up the first, going to spray and pre the smoke, and almost gets the 2nd. But Phelps gets the 2nd frag on the board in the round. And Noxy is going to be alone against 3.
Nearly there, nearly there. Now, Noxy, if I'm him, I'd potentially go in for the save because, okay, Zan's low. Phelps has already found 3 kills. You don't have any information on where they are. And we spoke about this before, Jason. The fact that when KNG or Phelps have one of those little star rounds where they get 2-3 frags in a row, we see them be able to kind of change the pace and change the game for NoTag because it wasn't looking good for him up until that point.
Yeah. And again, KNG is at 20 frags, 2nd highest on his team. Phelps at 23. Can we take a look at the other stats in a second once this is over? I'm curious to see what we got. Enemies flash. There you go. 9 for reversive. So he had 7 very early on in the round, or in this half, and he's only gone up to 9. A little unfortunate for him, but it still shows the impact he's had now.
Now, 1 round is all NoTag need, and okay, Noxy's got that saved AWP over, but everyone else is really going to struggle to buy. So did they play for overtime now, which is why the pause has probably come in? It's questions to be made. Do we allow them to have the 15th and maybe just have some upgraded pistols in this round, have a full buy going into the next and try and battle back? Or do we try and get it done now, but then we have a really potential bad buy for the following round?
Yeah, and I'm curious about it. If they go with not buying, where are they going to put Noxy? Are they going to keep him around the other players, at least one other player to pick up the op if he misses the shot and dies, so they still have the weapon in play? Or do they send him off by himself and the other 4 go a different direction?
I would say go for the, because, okay, NoTag always at least send 1 to 2 players out towards middle, right? So push up with the pistols. What do we see Isurus do? They keep pushing down long A, put him at middle, looking towards Fountain, let the pistols rush round.
Yeah.
Give him 1 player to look at potentially connectors to cover him and see what damage you can gun there. Because all they would need, say, is they grab 1-2 more weapons, then they've got plenty to work with in that round. So if they can get that potential going, that would be huge. But, oh, this is... Okay, so are they hoping that they get a few kills with the SMGs that gives them the money to go into the next? Or do they believe they can just win this off the SMG and AWP play?
The thing that's rough about this is, even if they do beat NoTag in this round, it's not like NoTag are short on money. Oh. They're going to have to fight him again with full weapons, full utility.
And Isurus won't have that regardless.
Exactly. So it's going to be a tough battle, a very uphill battle here for this team. You got to see Noxy. He's got to go off here, right? It has to be him.
I just wonder, I don't want them to play default with this. If they just play kind of the standard, have a couple of players in A, have a couple of players in B, keep it split, then I'm not going to like it. And all right, so we've got 4 going towards B, including the AWP, leaving just 2 to Hen on A. And he's up close. Throws over the first flash. Phelps is there, doesn't spot him out, but they'll be well aware that he's now being pushed back. Phelps is going straight on the hunt for this. He cannot go down here. Luckily, that flash comes out in the nick of time.
But Ro4b's going to be here. And 210's not safe at all. Actually, if 210 rounds this corner, when he sees that smoke go off, there's a good opportunity because he's not looking. He doesn't have that weapon out. And Noxy going to rotate back. Putin has to win this, and he's gonna have an opportunity. Jumps with the knife out at the wrong time. Reminded me of some Chinese CS for some reason.
They expected Noxty to be there with the AWP in hand, and killing me, Jason. Killing me, Jason, with the Chinese references.
Never have told me about it. Putin's gonna fortunately fall though with the AK he picked up. But 1962 comes in, picks up one. They line up for Phelps, who gets two. 1962 will respawn again, but again, either way, KNG's the last one alive, and they get the round. Now they're on match point, and Isurus have no weaponry to use at all.
That was so touch and go. So touch and go. That really could have gone either way. Great effort from Isurus there. It was the problem where both the players lined up, right? Gave an easy spray down for Phelps to get the first two there. And that pretty much helped him secure the round, because if he'd only been able to get one there, he would have instantly been taken out because the refrag potential, and that could have gone Isurus' way.
Not even just the round, potentially the back now.
Yeah.
Noxy, he's going to get the tag. That was well done. If he had the op there, it could have been a little bit of a different story. But Cello going to respect this shot now. But NoTag are in no rush. They know the economy's broken out of Isurus. They know they've got this map in the bag as long as they don't throw any crazy strats out here or any guns away to the enemy team.
It's been a valiant effort so far from Isurus.
Yeah, you know, to be fair, I will give them that. They actually played really well for a majority of this map. In a map where in a match where we expected NoTag to probably have a 2-0.
And the good thing here about NoTag is, okay, we've seen some good star performances, but I think I've seen a better team potential than what I saw when I looked at them during the Bello qualifiers as well. Like that was back in May, and that seemed like they were very much kind of focusing on just the star players, just their individual ability. This seems a bit more well-rounded. Noxty! He finally wins it. Doesn't do it with an AWP. Does it with a scout, but he'll take that. I don't think he's going to complain. So he's tagged one player up, so Cello's low to be easily taken down potentially. There is opportunity to be worked with here. The rotation's already coming round. Phelps finds himself the first. Pressure being put on him. Gets himself the second as well. Damage being done. Phelps, he has just been large and in charge here, and he's looking to deliver some more. Zan's there to back him up, and Isurus, oh so quickly their hopes and dreams start to be shattered, at least for Overpass. But that's the benefit of having best of threes. NoTag take the win, and they start to make it look a little bit more convincing, right, once they got over to their T side, maybe where they feel more confident. But CT side wide, I think they were a little bit lacking, something they could certainly learn from. Going into Mirage, if they can keep up that form and pace, NoTag.
Do you think there's maybe some, like, no respect play out of NoTag in the beginning, playing against them? Kind of like, well, we don't really think they're going to be a tough opponent, so we can not care as much at the beginning. But then once they saw Isurus start to, you know, take away the lead, they're like, all right, guys, we need to focus up.
I think there's a potential for that, because there was a big change, right, for NoTag. They went in for it, got their early pissed around, they sat there confident. Then they kind of saw the buy come out, obviously, on the expected round. But I still believe, because they didn't really upgrade, right? They still had SMGs, still had the UMPs there. I think they only had a FAMAS, right? I think it was just a FAMAS on
I think that was the only one.
And they just went, oh, cool, well, we're still going to be able to take this with just our SMGs. Then when they lost, they maybe went, okay, maybe we focus and take this a bit seriously, especially when KNG kept going down on the AWP. Then they put him onto the rifle because he wasn't hitting the shots. He was actually able to deliver with the rifle. I know we do criticize him on the AWP bits, but he then delivered towards the end, right? He started to step it up. I just think that overall, I was more impressed by Isurus. It's just NoTag had the better ability.
Right. That's unfortunate for Isurus, but there's still a chance. They still have an opportunity to come into the next map. When we do get to that, we do have to head to a short break, but when we come back, it'll be map 2 between these two teams, and we'll find out who's going to move on further into the bracket and who unfortunately has to stay at home and their career, not career, man, that's a little bit too harsh. Their chance to get into Intelligence Master Chicago will come to a close.
If you don't make it to Chicago, career done.
There you go. We'll see you guys in a few.